is. If you live now in Beijing or in Delhi, or you are the president of Brazil, you might want to take a look into this, because this might hit you very hard. So please make the phone call to Vladimir Putin.
India's advancing ties with China and Russia, sending jitters to US and NATO. NATO Chief Mark Rutte's latest comments after Trump's fierce warning to Russia have turned several heads. Nations like India, China and Brazil, who still import Russian oil, are now on Trump and NATO's radar. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte issued a stern warning to Russian trading partners like India and China and threatened serious consequences if they continued to do business with Moscow. Rutte's comments come a day after President Trump announced new weapons for Ukraine in a massive deal with and threatened biting 100% secondary tariffs on the buyers of Russian exports.
That President Trump said, basically, if Russia is not serious about peace talks, within 50 days he will slam secondary sanctions on countries like India, China and Brazil. So my encouragement to these three countries particularly is, if you live now in Beijing or in Delhi, or you are the president of Brazil, you might want to take a look into this, because this might hit you very hard. So please make the phone call to Vladimir Putin and tell him that he has to get serious about peace talks, because otherwise this will slam back on Brazil, on India and on China in a massive way. So I think it was a very smartly, wisely designed announcement yesterday by President Trump, but also the weapons I think is very important, and we will find the money in Europe to make sure that Ukraine has what it needs to be in the best possible position during these peace talks as soon as they start.
India and China currently lead the tally as the biggest importers of Russian oil globally. China remained the largest global buyer of Russian fossil fuels as of June 2025. Their imports accounted for 38% of Russia's monthly export earnings from the top 5 importers. China has bought 47% of Russia's crude exports, followed by India, the EU, and Turkey. Interestingly, the European Union, which backs Ukraine strongly against Russian aggression, ranked as the top importer of Russian LNG and pipeline gas. Meanwhile, U.S. Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal have warned countries, including India, of economic sanctions if they continue doing business with Russia. The senators are pushing for a bipartisan bill calling for sanctions on Moscow, which they say could be a sledgehammer that Trump needs to end the conflict. The senators blamed countries like India and China for propping up Putin's war machine by purchasing cheap Russian oil and gas, and threatened that the helping nations could face tariffs as high as 500%. Earlier this month, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said they had been in touch with Senator Graham regarding the sanctions bill and suggested that India will have to cross the bridge if it comes to it.
So we have been in touch with Senator Graham. The embassy, the ambassador has been in touch. I think our concerns and our interests on energy security have been made conversant to him. So we'll then have to cross that bridge when we come to it, if we come to it.
Trump has expressed frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin over the past few weeks over the stalling of peace negotiations with Ukraine. Trump, who earlier refused to give any security guarantees to Ukraine, has now agreed to send a comprehensive package, which he describes as business with NATO and European nations.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.